to another show of Don't Get This Twisted. I am Rob, along with my co-host, as always, Tina. How you doing, Tina?
I'm a little disturbed today, Rob. I was coming back from getting my nails done, and ICE is in my neighborhood. And the school that I went to high school is where they're patrolling around. So, and tonight's graduation night, and that kind of just blew my mind. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. I have opinions, but when it's in your neighborhood, like literally around the corner, I'm a little disturbed. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. They're not over in my neighborhood, but there's also no protests where I live.
I don't think there's any protesting here. Not anywhere that I've been around.
I did hear that there's going to be one in Ventura today, and I heard that maybe in Riverside, but where I live, there's the counties that I live near have the most CCWs of anywhere in the state. So might not be a good idea to be fucking around with people who carry guns.
Yeah. The looting and stuff. Again, I don't watch TV, and this is exactly why I don't watch TV. So I was on social media, and I was seeing like all the stuff that's going on and things burning and being just a fucking mess out there. Like businesses totally looted again. Like, have we not learned anything by looting the last few times here? Like, you're burning up your own neighborhood. But then I heard that they're bringing people in to do this stuff. So it's not their neighborhood. They don't care. I don't know. I was leaving it alone and giving it to God because I don't know how I feel about it. But I got to tell you, I didn't like seeing ICE in my neighborhood, but I don't like seeing police cars burnt in the middle of a freeway either. So I'm having a hard time like dealing with this. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, I think that. Look, I mean, I think a lot of it boils down to it's going to be an opinion on either side, right? I mean, ICE is it's a part of this. We can argue like people are mad because Orange Man is bad.
Orange Man,
right?
He is kind of orange.
Yeah, but I mean that's the whole thing about it, is that everything's like Orange Man is bad, and that Obama during his time deported 8 million people.
Yeah, it was like triple what they're giving Trump a hard time for.
Yeah, not even triple. It's more than that, because right now I think it's only been like 100,000 people. 8 million.
No, it's more than that.
I don't think so. Not yeah. It might be now, but it wasn't that long ago. It's not. I don't even think it's 1 million. Let's see.
I'm checking it out too, because I saw that it was a lot more.
Now we're not. Are we going to count both terms or just this one?
Oh, I don't. See, there's so much with this. It's ridiculous.
So right now, what they're saying is there's been 113,000 people deported since January.
113,000?
Mm-hmm.
See, I was seeing way different statistics.
This is what the Independent, that's a UK, as of May 29th. So as of 10 days ago. Yeah.
Because what I heard was maybe it was from last term to this term, because that would be totally different. But Barack Obama was the one by far that deported the most illegals.
Yeah, it was like 8 million, I think. Matter of fact, there's a really good video of Obama doing not an interview, but a press conference talking about if you're illegal here, we're going to deport you.
Yeah.
So, my thing is it's always on the other foot, right? So, Orange Man bad. And I think that's why people are up in arms, because they're like, I can't believe it. It's like, well, everyone does it. Every president's done it. All of them. Bush, Biden, Obama, they've all deported people. People just don't like it now because, they think that like ICE is rolling into their town when that's how everyone has been deported. Like this isn't new. This isn't like people are just pissed and the outrageous left are now putting it on the news saying that, that they're running people down, and they've done it before. This isn't anything new. I think that like whether you have an opinion on it or not is up to you. That's great. If you don't like it, then don't like it. But if you're going to go out and quote unquote peaceful protest and then burn cars and throw boulders at cop cars.
See that I don't agree with any of that at all. I don't. There's no reason to be a fucking asshole and destroy somebody's property because you don't like it or you can't own it or you can't afford it. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
But I really don't like the government bringing in all the Marines and like they could be parked in my driveway. You know what I mean? They're literally right down the street right now. And that kind of, for me, that's horrifying because I was like, oh yeah, that's happening in LA. It's not happening in the Valley. It's nowhere near me. And I liked it that way.
But the Marines aren't down the street from you. ICE is there, which is a totally different.
But see, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter to me. It's all of the government entities that are here to scoop up people that are here illegally. And okay, we could go way back. I mean, if we asked everybody in the Valley that lived here how many generations they've been here, I bet you nobody would say 12. But I could say that. So how far back are we getting rid of these people? You know what I mean? If we want to get rid of immigrants and get rid of everybody, like let's get rid of all of them because I'd like to go back to having the land the way it was before. I'm cool with that. But I'm American now and I was born and raised here in the Valley. I don't want shit happening like that here. But at the same time, there's a way to come into this country and it's not by doing it illegally.
Correct. I mean, well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate with you. The land before what?
Who was here the longest?
We can debate that, but sure. I mean, again, like, what you mean? While this landmass was here that we know of, probably Indians.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like nobody, even half my family would live here anymore. We could get rid of all of it. Everybody goes back to where they come from.
Okay. So what, now I'll play devil's advocate again. What tribes get what? Because they all butchered each other for land as well.
That's true too.
Like my dad lives in South Dakota and he lives near Mount Rushmore, which people call an abomination and fuck you, you lost. Sorry. And I don't mean to be bad to Indians, but this is the reality of this whole planet. We've all lost.
Right.
So
absolutely.
You can ask the Irish and the Scottish who the English had under their thumb for hundreds of years. And you know what they got? Nothing. There was no reparations to the English and the Scottish. You know what they got? Hey, we still have a country.
Right. You're lucky you still get to live here.
Yeah. I mean, and again, like, dude, half the people of Australia were prisoners.
Yeah, they were sent there for being convicted of crimes.
But do you know why? Because the English thought that there was nobody there. They were like, fuck it, this is a big thing. All we see is jungle, throw people there. And then when the English prisoners got there, they were like, oh shit, there's people here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, and again, we can all talk. I mean, really, if you look deeper into this country, there was nobody here for a long time. The Indians came here on a landmass from Asia.
Yes, that is true.
There's no one's native. That means the Indians stole this land too from probably some other humanoid that was probably here, and they probably butchered them too. That's just what we do. We're humans. We're really good at killing people
and not getting along.
Correct. So yeah, and we can.
So getting back to what I was saying though too. So now, being that I was born and raised literally 2 miles from where I live currently,
God, you have not left.
No, fuck's sake. I'm back where I was like lived my life.
I know.
Not by choice, but it's definitely a gift that I could still do that. So
I think it's time to leave the state, though.
Yeah, I don't know, because all of my people are here. All of my friends are here. All of my family is here. You know, I got this place wired for sound. You know, people need an air conditioner guy. I know who to send you to. A jeweler. For sound. I know somebody, you know.
Right. No, I get you.
So to me, it's like to move to literally pick up and go. I'd go by myself because I'm single. Where am I going to go? And how am I going to get to where I need to get out there with, it would be really hard for me. It would.
Very difficult.
Not to mention my family and my people are here and I don't want to leave them. Like there's that too.
So here's my devil's advocate to you. And so you don't want the federal government doing anything, but how do we get people out of the country that are here illegally?
Okay, so if they're not here with papers, and I mean in any race, religion, what the hell, I don't care. I don't think that not one specific people should be. Yeah, everybody. Because our resources are tapped. But are they tapped because we have too many people or because our government's fucking assholes and they don't know how to handle the money they got because they got billions from us?
Probably a little of both.
Right?
I mean, in this particular state, there's too many fucking people here. Drive the freeway.
Yes. Yeah.
There's too many people here. Most of the major cities there are, though. Dallas, Atlanta, Miami, LA, San Francisco, anywhere that's, San Diego, anywhere there's a bunch of people there, you're going to have shitty traffic. There's not much traffic in Montana and Wyoming.
No, there's
because
not.
People don't live there.
Right.
Because it's cold. So,
excuse me. I mean,
there's a lot to be said, right? Without the federal government doing it, look, you cannot want the National Guard here and you cannot want the Marine Corps here. But the police department can't stop the hooligans that are down there. So what do you do?
You're right.
The local government, the mayor and the governor of this state don't give a shit and they don't care that shit burns. It's a fact. Look, true. Our mayor during the wildfires was in another fucking country on vacation.
Right.
So, she's not very good at her job and how she got elected is beyond me. But people in this state just vote party lines and they don't give a shit.
Yeah, you're throwing out a lot. I can't keep up with you, Rob.
Right.
So this is all coming from so many different directions, and I'm like,
no. But for me, what we're trying to say is how do we not have the federal government do something? We're going to be at some point have to have the federal government step in.
I agree, but does it have to go down like this? And I got to ask both sides. Does it really have to go down like this? Are we really at a place where we have to have all of the rioting going on? Are we really at a place where, if we quit picking the assholes that are in government, we might get things to change instead of hearing, the lesser of the evils. No, don't pick for evil. Why don't we start with that? I mean, we've talked about this before.
Right.
And if you're here illegally, like, I got news for you. We don't want you here right now. Get your papers, get your shit together, do what you have to do, and then we want you. But you shouldn't get any help. You shouldn't be making more money being an illegal immigrant than you are being somebody who was born and raised here. That's for damn sure.
Well, you shouldn't be sucking off the system's teat.
Yep. I agree with that.
Not to sound and people will be very mad at my next statement, but public health care isn't real. Like most of these other countries that have it have very small populations. That's why they can do it. You can't have free healthcare. In Canada, it's horrible. People that think that free healthcare is awesome. There are people that have been waiting for operations months and months and months and months. Because it's free. But if you have brain cancer in Canada, good luck. Here they go, hey, you're going to owe us for the rest of your life, but we're going to fix your head right now.
Yeah.
And it sucks. And healthcare is expensive, but no one should get it for free. And people who aren't from this country should not get a fucking dime of it.
I agree with that.
Over people who have been, for one, if you're a veteran, you should get that shit for the rest of your life. You should also get free room and board for the rest of your life if you were a veteran in any kind of war. But that's my own thing. You shouldn't have, homeless veterans that fought in wars. No, that's crazy.
I agree with that. But then there are some that want to be homeless that don't want to.
That's a whole other discussion. But I think if you want it, you should get it. Yeah, some people are just fucked up, and it's going to be hard to fix that anyway. And that's a whole nother podcast for a whole nother situation of, fixing people who are broken from war. But my thing is like, look, and people are sucking off the tit. If you're getting, and look, and I'm not even going to say the people who are from this country who are doing it. That's a whole other issue. They shouldn't do it either.
Nobody should be doing it.
You should for a certain time, but there should be a clock running on how you get public assistance. You shouldn't, have 8 kids and then teach your 8 kids how to suck off the system by having more kids, by having more kids, by having more kids.
I agree with that too.
Sorry, there's a time limit on it, and it should be like unemployment. You better get a job in 8 months, because if you don't, that shit is non-existent. And just because you have kids doesn't mean that you should be able to do it. Sorry, I was a single dad and I worked the whole time. And when I didn't have a job, I got unemployment until I couldn't and went and got a job because I had to. That's the way of the world, and it sucks, but
it's
hey,
true.
Welcome to reality. So my thing with this is people are mad because the government that people don't like, and both sides. Look, I go online and I read comment sections. You want to have a good time? Go and read comment sections. The people who are pro Trump or pro this getting rid of people are great. They're just bashing the shit out of it. And the people on the other side who don't want it are bashing the shit out of it. And they just throw rocks at each other. It's not going to do anything. The government is going to do what they're going to do. Go burn your city all the way down to the ground. They're going to tire you out. And when you're done being tired, guess what they're going to do? Keep rounding people up.
That's true.
It sucks. And look, and people will throw around the word fascist and Nazi like it's the thing to do. It's nonsense. It's bullshit. If they were Nazis, they'd be pushing people into ovens, because that's what the Nazis did. They're not doing that. They're deporting you back home to a country.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm sure people are going to hate me for this, but that's the truth. Don't throw around that word. 6 million people died on trains. Mm-hmm. We're not putting you on a train back home. We're putting you on an airplane to a country that you wave the flag of because you're proud of it, but want to live here. Yeah. Go fix your country. It's not hard. Get guns and fight back. The French did it, and they had a country. Egypt did it not too long ago, and guess what they have? Their own country. So if you're not willing to die for it, fuck you. Because here, I guarantee you, the government tries to take over. There's 400 million guns in this country, and people are going to fight back. It's going to be an ugly blood war. And it'll probably happen well after we're gone, Tina, I hope, and well after my son is dead and buried as well.
Seriously.
But when I was married, my ex-wife, her first husband was Mexican, and so her kids are half. And I always used to shit on Mexico, like, fuck Mexico. Stop sending them money, send them guns. And she was like, yeah, but people are going to die. I said, yep, lots of them. Lots of people are going to die. But they're going to have their own country.
Yeah.
And how do you think this country became the country it was? They fought the British. They fought the British because the British said, no, you're a colony of us. And we went, nope. And lots of people died. And then there was another war between half this country, and then lots of people died. It's a fair thing to say, look, do we need people? Sure. Do you know who else I think should be branded fucking assholes on a huge level? The people hiring these illegals. Because they're exploiting them for no pay.
Yes. I don't even know how these people are making it here with what I hear they're getting.
Well, a lot of it is under the table cash.
Yeah.
So which is a whole other monster because they're taking that money. And yes, do they pay taxes on a lot of it here? Sure. But you know what they're doing? Sending it back home. Matter of fact, the Mexican president said that in her statement. Don't send them back here. They need to go there because they're helping their families here.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? So go to America, make a bunch of money, pay the taxes on it there, but send that same money here that's worth way more in Mexico because the peso is like fucking worth dog shit. It's like 20 or 25 pesos a dollar.
Is it really that bad now?
It was. I know. It might even be worse now.
Shit.
Yeah. So I wonder what it is. Let's see. Peso to USD. See what it is right now. Right now. Let's. So for $1, you get 19.07 pesos. So it's actually better now, but I heard it was 25 at one point.
19.1?
19.07. So let's say
07.
19 pesos per dollar.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why it's worth sending $1 down there because you're making more. They're getting by more. And awesome. And look, I feel the plight of anyone who comes here from a shitty country.
Right?
I do.
It's got to be pretty dire for them to want to leave like that because I'm still 2 miles from where I'm born.
Well, you're leaving your heritage behind. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
I get it. I think the bigger problem too is the people who see people who come here from other countries and man, I'm going to get shit on again. No one assimilates anymore.
Right.
So when people go, oh, this is a land of immigrants, it is. And in the 30s and 40s and 50s, when people came here, they assimilated. The first thing they did, if you were an Italian, you lived in Little Italy in New York, and guess what you did? You learned English.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had to, because they wanted to assimilate into this country. No one does that anymore.
No.
So, and you know what's going to really hurt? The new Apple iOS has a live translate feature.
Really?
Yeah. So when it comes out in September, you're going to be able to probably listen through your ear pods and it's going to live translate. People are fucked now.
Ooh.
Those people who are doing your nails that are speaking Vietnamese and talking shit about you, going to be a bad thing. The people who are in the 7-Eleven who are talking Spanish in front of white people who have ear pods on, they're going to know what you're saying now.
Mm-hmm.
So things are about to change.
I have some of those ear pods and I took them to the nail salon.
Yeah. So just think you're going to have live translate soon. You're going to be able to put on your translate thing and listen, and it's going to tell you what they're saying in English.
That's how it was. That's exactly how those ear pods are.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
So look, I have no problem with people coming here. I understand. And like I said, when people say, oh, you say that they're coming from a shitty country. Yeah, they are. Most people who come here come from a third world country. Mexico's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Why is it so shitty? Why are people coming here? What's the problem?
It's the cartel.
Fix the problem. And people go, well, let's send the Marines down there and fix it. Oh, you can't send American Marines down here and do that. That's wrong. Why?
They shouldn't be down there. It's not our country.
No, but let's say we went down there and fixed it. Look, you can go to World War II, ask Poland, Austria, France.
I get you.
We've been in a lot of countries and done.
We just have
shit.
no business doing that shit.
We don't. But let's just say let's pick Mexico because it's the closest one that a lot of people are coming here from. The first time you say we should send the Marines down there and fix it, no, but you can't do that. Well, why? You want to live there, right? Don't you want to live in Mexico? Well, yes. Okay, so let's go down there because the Marines will take care of the cartel.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, we took Iraq in less than 30 days.
Yep, that's true. So
we can fix the problem. The problem there is whoever goes into power is just going to become another tyrant. So fixing countries we don't do well either, though, because we've done it in the Middle East and they shit that away as well. But so fix your country. It's like, you look at Argentina. Argentina just put in a quote unquote right wing Trump like person. His first day in office, he got rid of like 32,000 government jobs.
Whoa.
Yeah. He cleaned up. He's like, oh yeah, we don't need to do this shit anymore. Boop. Stop sending money there. Stop doing this. No more public assistance. Whoop. Get a job. He's crazy right wing.
Wow.
For that country, mostly for that country, because they were communists for so long. So, but you look at something like that where why you have to find the goal problem of the country you're from and why is it so shitty? And if you're not willing to fight for it, but you're willing to come here and burn down shit to stay in America, what's the bigger? So you're willing to fight for something, just not in your country.
Mm-hmm. And even though you're here fighting, you're not fighting for the right thing. It seems like you're fighting on the flip side, like that you don't want to be here, that you don't, you don't have any pride in this state, in this country. I mean, because even the flags, I'm like, why are you putting your country's
why are you flying
flag?
Mexican flag.
And you're protesting for what here in America? I'm confused. I'm really confused.
Exactly. So am I. If you were out there waving a American flag instead of burning it, I might even go, nah, you want to be here. You're trying to say you want to be in America.
Yeah, not fuck America, but I'm here and I'm staying.
Yeah. And again, have your country's pride, whatever that is. Pick one. That's great. But coming here and trying to make this country your shitty one isn't helping.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's like these people who go, why are we arresting MS-13 gang members and deporting them? Because they're shitbags. That's why.
Oh my God, I could just sit here and listen to you talk and not even say a word and just go, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that.
But it's true.
But then I can because there's a part of me that believes that too.
And I'll shit on anyone who's in this country who's a shitty organization. Like, you want me to shit on the Ku Klux Klan? It's not hard.
Right.
They're fucking shitbags.
Oh, they
and if we could deport them somewhere, we probably could. I have no problem with that. You look, it's like me and pedophiles. And
true story, you could literally be in the Ku Klux Klan, like with who you are as a person, like your genetics, like you're a white guy that could be in it. And you're like, no, fuck these people.
And with my dad from the South. My dad is from the South.
Yes.
So, but look, shitbags are just shitbags. Like I get it. And that's why, like, when people go, oh, you're a conservative Republican. It's like, okay. So don't wheel me in with everything. I'm pretty much more in the middle. I just believe certain things that I think I'm a more constitutionalist than I am a Republican. But at the end of the day, it's like, fix the thing you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand the whole premise of doing that. If, like I said, if they had American flags down there, I'd probably have more respect for them. That's just, it's a crazy time to think that you're waving that. Because if I said, white pride or white power, what are people going to say about me?
Yep.
But it's okay to say, pick your country pride, and no one says anything. Unless you say you're from Canada and say, then we just laugh at you.
Yeah.
So what do you do? We're between a rock and a hard place, really, because if you don't arrest the people who are illegal, and people will say, oh, they're not illegal. Look, we have laws. That's just the way it is. If you don't like the laws, move to the other country. It's not hard. But you know what? You can't move to Mexico because as an American, they don't let you buy land there.
No.
And if they do, you can't. It's not even yours forever.
It's 99 years that you could lease it.
Yes. So awesome. Go there. You can live in Mexico. More power to you. It's not hard. Matter of fact, going that direction is very easy to get in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard. You don't even have to go through a desert.
Right.
You don't need coyotes. You don't need any of that shit. You just walk across the border in San Diego and you can stay forever.
Mm-hmm.
More power to you. You don't like it here. Move to said country. Move to Europe. It's not hard. Some countries it might be. Poland, you'll never get into Poland because they don't allow anyone in that country. Zero. They shoot people at the border. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't fuck around. And I guess I heard Hungary's the same way now. Hungary built a huge wall, and if you try to get over it, they shoot you. Don't come here. And they're because they're more worried about the influx of Muslims in Europe, and they don't want people like that in their country. So as you can see, it's not just
it's because if they didn't have borders, how many of these people would be getting over to their countries and screwing with, not
there's whole towns in England. There's whole towns in England now that are just Muslim.
That's
and now the English are starting to get mad. There's issues in Germany where people who have migrated to Germany are doing bad things. And what I like to tell people is you don't want to piss the Germans off.
Right.
Because then they put you on trains. Robb. It's a fact, right?
Well, it's happened. It's been known to happen.
So you have to look at history, because what happens with history? It repeats
itself. Yes.
When you piss off the English, you know what the English do? They take over countries.
Yeah.
They're good at it. When they get mad, they get really mad. And then they just take India and at will. They take whatever they want. So, and I know that times have changed.
So do we.
and I say things humorously. Actually, we don't. What have we taken? Like really taken?
We've just
Puerto
taken.
Rico?
Well, yeah, that was like ages ago.
Yeah, and Puerto Rico's glad they're part of the United States. Trust me. They're like, oh, we're good.
We don't take it. We just pillage it.
That's yes. We go take what we want and then leave.
Right?
Yeah. The English actually did that as well, except they did it for long periods of time. They had India for like forever, like 45 years. And they were like, there's nothing here anymore. It's all yours. And they left. And that went into ruins.
Jesus.
Look at South Africa. Africa, we can talk apartheid and how bad it was. Horrible. It really is. Horrible, shitty things that they did. But when they decided to leave, you know what really happened to that country? It went to shit. And it's bad now. People murder each other at will. Matter of fact, they were the white farmers who would stay there left. They came here or to be exiled because they were afraid. So look, and I even have problems with that. It's like, look, you're kind of stuck there. Don't come here. You shouldn't have stayed in South Africa. You should have went home to England. But we're in a very hard time, and this is going to be very decisive again. We're going to have like the summer of love that we had after George Floyd, where they're just burning cities to the ground, costing billions of dollars of your taxpayer money.
Yeah.
So what do you want us to do? Should we just let people burn shit to the ground?
No.
Okay. So
so again, like I said in the beginning, I'm really mixed in my feelings because I didn't like seeing those police officers under a freeway underpass to hide out because protesters threw bricks and rocks and things at their cars, and now their cars were unable to go any further. I don't dig that. That's fucked up, and that shouldn't be happening. And those are the people I say go after them, get them quick, get them the fuck out of here. And why are they here? Like,
I think most of the people who are doing that shit are citizens.
You think they're citizens here, or you think they're being bussed in like they were the last time?
That could be true too, but I bet you, let's just say they're from California. I'll play devil's advocate there. The people who are mostly illegal aren't at these rallies because they don't want to get caught. And
no, they would be fools, and they live in fear anyway this, so they don't want to be put on blast. And
if you are out there, you're even dumber than I thought.
Right.
So the people who are there are just American citizens who are mad, which more power to you. Here's the thing. The people who are peaceful protesters need to stop the violent assholes, because you're just a bad apple.
But then if you think about it, what is peaceful accomplished?
I mean, look,
Nothing.
no,
See what
but
I'm saying?
it's
We're
you're
all
right.
it's like a round, it's like it's just a situation that goes round and round and round. There's no good answer, there's no right answer. What do we do? Like honestly,
You know, squ-
I didn't like hearing that ICE was in my little town next
Mhm,
to a graduation of a bunch of kids I see walk to school every day. That makes me sad because these are kids that are pulling their weight, as even if their parents are here illegally, even if
mhm.
they're here illegally, they're going to school, they're pulling their weight, they're getting their shit done. So um I don't know. It's just I didn't like it. I didn't like it and I don't feel safe. I don't. And now what what am I going to hear? Or I so social media has been blowing up because I did
Mhm.
post something on social media and
I saw
somebody
that
that lives in my neighborhood. I know, and I never post anything and I'm probably going to wipe it off anyway just because it's
because you're going to catch
something.
shit for it. Ooh, you have 10 comments on it right now.
Oh, are any of them any good? But no, I don't want to flare everybody up, but I want to feel safe and I don't feel safe like this. I just don't.
Mhm. I I mean, look, I don't feel safe for different reasons. I don't want to be driving down the street and get mobbed by people
Right. I
because
don't.
I'm the other side of that. I'll just run your ass down and I won't care. You jump in
Well,
front of my car, you're going to get hit.
oh, I
I,
don't want
I
to do that either.
I wouldn't either, but am I going to get dragged out of my car? No.
Well,
Sorry.
that see what I'm saying? Now, okay, now let's just play devil's advocate and say that
Mhm.
ICE did go into that graduation today. You've got how many people sitting in those bleachers for a graduation? I don't even know.
I
Just
mean, that place holds a pretty good amount. I would say Kennedy, and I don't know if they've refurbed it since we've been gone. I bet you on both sides, I bet you it holds at least 2 to 3,000 people.
okay, so all these people come rushing out of that graduation and all those kids that are sitting in all those seats where we sat once for
Mhm.
graduation and they everybody takes off and runs. Now we can't find a parking spot up and down our street right now because of graduation. But what happens when they start running and they start, you know, being forced to run in
Mhm.
fear or run and be assholes and burn shit down. Like I'm right in the middle of that situation, right in the middle of it.
Exactly.
And that's kind of I don't know. I don't like it. I don't,
Yes. I
it
mean,
doesn't feel safe.
I would have a large issue with anyone um doing it at an event like that. I don't think that it needs to be done like that.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a little too aggressive. It's a lot too aggressive, but it's a lot too aggressive on both sides. They're both doing things that are completely wrong.
I mean, but here's the flip side of it. Okay. So is it wrong if an ICE van pulls into a Home Depot and jumps out?
It did that too. They did that too,
The,
and they did the
they're
Lowe's
they're doing
and
it everywhere, just so you know,
boy,
because it's like fishing in a barrel, right? You
yeah.
Most of the people who are standing outside of that are generally people who are looking for work that are not legal in this country because it's cheap labor.
Yeah.
Again, let's go back to there's a problem with that as well.
Yeah.
The people who
It's
hire mostly, and look, and I'm talking about the people who are in Home Depot are looking for part-time work. It's not like a job.
mhm.
Now, I have issues with some of the things in the Midwest that are like chicken places that hire hundreds. So that company should get hit for that.
Yeah.
These people are not citizens of the country and you're still hiring them and you're not paying them shit. So when people say, "Oh, they're not taking jobs away from people," sure they are. Because and here's the flip side of that. Let's say you're doing that in a a neighborhood who has more African American people. who are now unemployed because they can't get a job at the chicken farm because the people who are working there are working for pennies on the dollar comparative to what they would have to pay the people who live in town.
Right. Well, let's look at it this way too. Like, I think about going out towards Ventura and all the pickers that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me this generation's going to get their lazy asses out and start picking.
No.
So who's going to pick? Like,
well, yes, there's definitely demographics and there's issues, but you're don't cut off your nose to spite your face, right? You won't have the people to pick, but it's okay to pay them nothing.
Well, you know what? I think if you get a lot of people over there picking so that they could stay here, maybe that's part of it. Maybe that could be part of the solution. Who knows?
No, but they already are. And they're paying them not what someone who is from this country. They're not paying them. They're not paying a minimum wage. I fucking guarantee it.
You don't think so?
And they don't. No. They could pay them under minimum wage.
You know, I got to tell you that normally I'm oblivious to 90% of the stuff that goes on in my world.
No, I'm just saying
and I'm liking that. I'm hearing you talk and I'm just like, fuck, it's messed up.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the thing, because I always look for what is the answer. How do we fix this? Like, I don't need it. I don't need to be angry. I don't need to be crazy. I just need to be like, proactive. How do we fix this? Where do we start? Do we start with ICE coming in and fucking up a graduation for a bunch of kids that had to, that had to do the work and did the work and got there? Do they need to be fucked with? I don't think they do.
No.
And this is bugging me because I have said the F word I don't even know how many times, and I normally do not do that.
Yeah, you're good at that. I say it all the time. The thing with this is that what they're saying is, that the administration said, go home voluntarily, because if they're catching you now, it's going to be a felony and you're not going to ever be allowed back. Yeah. Then you're screwed forever.
They even had those stupid commercials on the radio and on the TV that said, I happened to see one of those, even though I don't watch TV, walked in to where Dad was and saw that. And I was like, damn, that's aggressive.
Look, we're
did it work though?
They said a lot of people did go.
Really?
Mm-hmm. There was an influx of people leaving.
Wow.
Now, how many?
What's the influx?
Yeah, I mean, are thousands going to really hurt? They said during Biden's administration, millions of people came here. Millions.
Mm.
So, you know what it would take to round up 2 million people?
Well, they're going to Home Depots and fucking graduations.
Yeah.
Might not be so hard.
No, but it's going to be hard. It's hard to round up people who don't want to be round up.
I don't know. Looks kind of scary to me.
No, I'm just saying though, I'm all up for look, let's start with people who are criminals. Right. I think that's a good start.
But they're all criminals if they're coming here illegally. So it's potato.
I won't argue that. But okay. So should I put a top on that? I'm all up for getting rid of violent criminals.
I am too.
But I'm also for putting pedophiles and wood chippers. So, I'm probably not the right person to say that. But if violent criminals of anything shouldn't be here.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense. So there's that. Let's just start with that. Do I think we should start rounding up everybody? Look, it's a very fine line with how you do it. But I'm also saying if you're going to do it, round up everybody.
I agree.
Everyone.
You have to. It has to be fair. It has to be.
Yeah. If you're Canadian and here illegally.
I don't have a problem with you being here illegally if you're doing this, but I have a problem you being illegally if you do that. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean everyone. I don't care what language you speak. If you speak English and you're here illegally from Ireland, Scotland, Australia, name whatever country that speaks English, go the fuck home.
Yeah.
It's not helping the situation. And to go back with the pickers out there. Okay, let's say they're paying them close to minimum wage. They don't have to offer them any insurance.
No, nothing. It's horrible.
They work 40 hours. They don't have to give them a 401k.
Right.
The conditions are lackluster at best.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm just crazy. I would say put prisoners on a chain gang and make them pick vegetables. But that's inhuman as well to some people.
I agree. I agree, but I also get your point.
Yeah. So there's, we can all go full circle with all this stuff. I mean, we should probably have somebody on here who's had to go through the process or isn't legal to give their side of it. I think, look, it's a dangerous thing that what we're doing either way. Do I think that soldiers should shoot on their own people? No, I don't. I think that's a very, once you cross that line, it's scary. And we've done it before. If you want to look up Kent State was a college where we shot some dirty hippies.
Yep.
So, and that had repercussions to this day. So, and look, I don't want to do that, but if you start throwing boulders at people, sooner or later, they're going to snap. And generally, and I'm going to be nice when I say this, but bullets beat boulders every time.
Yeah. I'm hoping it doesn't get to that. People just need
I
to
hope it doesn't
calm
either.
the fuck down and hide if they need to hide, and let's get through this. Shit, it's a month they're going to be doing this.
There's a way of fixing it. Go home.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Go home. You're not going to stop the ICE raids. You're just not. The federal government's going to do it. It's a fact. It's sucky if you don't like it, but it's not going to stop. It's like taxes. I don't want to pay taxes. You know what they're going to do to me if I don't? Come arrest me and put me in prison on something that I think is the most unconstitutional shit in the world.
That's another episode.
It's a whole nother episode, but that's the truth, right? So, the federal government, we've given them so much power that they're not going to change it. And on the flip side, the administration that is in power, which is the Republicans, always want less government. They're trying to get rid of government. And it's already showed. Look at with Doge and how they've tried to cut a bunch of shit of wasteful spending.
Yeah.
So look, the least government, the better. Stay out of my life and I'll stay out of yours.
Yeah. Stay out of my little town. It's creepy.
Yeah. So,
it's creepy.
And look, again, I'm sure I'll get heat from this and I'm sure someone will say something bad to me and call me something bad.
Oh, stop. If people can't listen to other people's opinions, they need to start with themselves because they're part of the problem.
Well, and at the end of the day, here's the reality. Come on the show. I have no problem. I'll let anyone on this show, please say your opinion. We need more of that. There's not enough people who don't believe in the same shit that talk it out. And at the end of the day, I have a lot of friends who are liberals, lots of them. And when they post shit online, you know what I do? I keep scrolling.
Yeah, you don't cancel them out.
But I guarantee you, if I put one thing on there, I will get lots of people to say something.
I just don't even want to bother with that shit.
I can't
believe that I warned people that ICE was in the neighborhood. But you know what? I did it. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but I know this isn't the time or the place to be doing that. It didn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Yeah, we're at a trying time in this country for sure.
Yep.
But to think, like you said, that protesting is really going to do something, it's kind of humorous. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
I just saw a post today of, and again, quote unquote, I'll take this as if you believe it or not, but there's footage of someone during these riots. It looks like downtown over by the Big Donut over there in Inglewood, of a person with a firearm shooting at police.
Crazy.
I'll send you
Well, we're getting to the end of the podcast, and unfortunately, I have to go.
and I have to eat.
Well, there you go.
But listen, doing this subject is always going to rattle cages and piss people off, and I'm sure someone will say something. And life is what it is. Again, if you don't like the orange man, don't blame the federal government. Blame that the system has been doing this for the last 25 to 40 years.
Yeah.
The system is where it is broken. We keep electing rich people that just keep getting richer while we don't. So, look, don't burn shit down. Don't beat cops up, because bad things are just going to happen. Go home.
And they're working just like everybody else is.
Yeah. And please just don't get in front of me on the road.
You're stupid.
I'm look.
I get you.
That's a very serious thing. I've seen it already on the news. People jumping in front of cars.
Yeah.
That's in this state. There's other states in this union. It's legal. It's law that you can run people down.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Be safe out there, and feel free to get a hold of us. Come on. I'd love to talk to people who don't believe the same thing as me, because we need to really start building
talking.
Bridges. Yeah.
Yep.
Because if we don't, it's going to be like this until we're dead.
Well, I think it's going to be like this anyway till we're dead.
But things were so different in the 80s.
People had enough where they could live, though. That's not the way it is anymore. And when people can't live and they can't, but they could live. Now people aren't living. You're not able to make ends meet. Like, that's going to cause, back in the 80s, we had so much of everything. It was ridiculous.
That is true. It was excess. There's a lot of cocaine.
Excess. We don't have excess here anymore. We're barely scraping by, and I think that's why the unrest is so severe.
Yeah, and it's so easy to just blow up because people are at their wits' end.
People don't know how to act these days either, but that's another show.
Well, feel free to get a hold of us on the Instagram and the Facebook, and leave shit behind, because we'd love to hear from you. And if you'd like to come on and you know us, feel free to text us or call. And if you don't, leave a message, and I'll be more than welcome to send you a link on the day that we do a show, and we'll be more than welcome to try to meet in the middle. Check us out on Apple and Spotify and all that cool stuff. And it's an opinion show, so don't get it twisted. Keep coming back every Wednesday. That's Tina. I'm Rob. We'll see you in a week. Bye.
See ya.